Here we see the volume of a cylinder. A cylinder, like the pyramid, kind of points out at the top, which involves that 1/3 piece again. So anything with that pointy top here, that's where this 1/3 is coming from. And like all of our other formulas, we get capital B, which is the area of the base. And remember, we're dealing with a circle down here again. So if we're dealing with a circle, pi r squared. And h is going to be the height of how tall this shape is. And what's pretty cool is if you take a chance to compare the cubes and the pyramids, I think you'll like that, but do that on your own. I'm going to move ahead to the next slide and look at what happens when I click on that base area. We know it's a circle. We wanted to just highlight, but I wanted you to notice something very important in this slide. In this slide, we're given that we have a right triangle is formed. That right triangle forms our cylinder by being rotated around in a path that would bring it back. So if we rotate around this line here, this center piece, that height, that's what forms it. So the two-dimensional image is this right triangle here. So anytime you have a right triangle and rotate that around, that can form our cone. Similar to how the cylinder was rotated, a rectangle made a cylinder. So because it points out on the top here, that's what's making that cone shape. The cylinder, we were rotating a rectangle. And if we're spinning around that side, it's forming that circular piece here. So because there was no point at the top, that's what made it a cylinder, versus here, our point makes it a cone. But be careful. That right triangle also has a really important value that we need to be careful of. We want to never confuse the height with the slant height. The slant height is this side, this diagonal path. Think about when you're going to the doctor and you're getting your height taken. Do you ever kind of slant and lean and see what happens? No. To get an actual height, we want to make a right angle always. Height always involves taking the right angle, and then we'll have our radius here to calculate. So remember, height always has to make a 90-degree angle. Another word for height is an altitude. So anything regarding that needs to form that 90-degree angle. So don't get distracted by this slant height. If they give you a number here and the radius, we don't just plug that in instead. We'd have to use Pythagorean theorem or some method to find that missing side, that height.